hi there. It is me, that one makeup kid, and I am here with what will probably be a long video of me talking about something really big that is happening in my life right now. So if you're not here for that, this is your disclaimer. You can leave. I won't be upset at you. I know this is a makeup channel, but this kind of relates to my channel, and also it's my channel, so I can post whatever I want. This is a video that will help to explain to some people about a big part of my life and something that is happening right now and something that I've been going through for, well, a lot of it I've been dealing with my whole life, but for the last 5 years, I've been doing something very specific, and I decided to make a video to talk about it and share my thoughts, share my feelings, and just share with you guys what is happening right now, seeing as it's also going to interfere with my presence on social media and just me in general. So yes, if you want to know what it is, I'm gonna tell you right now. So I am going to be getting gastric sleeve surgery in 3 days. Holy shit, 3 days. Just a heads up, this is an emotional topic for me just because it's a huge part of my life. It's a part of what makes me me, and I feel very strongly about the things I'm going to talk about. So if there's a little like tear or something, I'm sorry. Like, I'll try to keep it on the down low, but I can't promise anything. So yeah, I'm getting gastric sleeve surgery, and this has been something that has been a really long time in the making. For those of you who don't know me, I have been overweight, obese my entire life. I'm 20 years old, and I was almost 200 pounds by the time I was like in my first year of middle school. I hit 300 in high school, and at my highest I got to 340 pounds. And my whole life has been me being super duper fat. And I don't hate myself, not in the least. I think I'm cute and I think I'm a cool person. So this is not to insinuate at all that I hate myself. I love myself very much. What is a gastric sleeve surgery? So I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about the gastric bypass surgery or the weight loss surgery. The sleeve is just a little bit different. So basically in the bypass, they get the 2 ends of the stomach and they bypass part of the stomach so that you have a smaller stomach and you can't eat as much. With the sleeve, they actually cut out that part of the stomach, and I decided to get the sleeve because in the long run, it will have a lot less side effects for me. When you get the bypass, you have, what's it called? You have the chance of like twisting everything and some vitamin deficiencies, and me and my surgeon talked about it, and we decided that since this is going to be the majority of my life, that a sleeve would be better. I will lose weight a little bit slower, but I don't really mind that. That's kind of not a problem for me, is how fast I would lose weight. So yeah, I'll like put a picture right here kind of showing the differences between a bypass and a sleeve. And yeah, so basically the reason for both of the surgeries is to decrease the size of the stomach and therefore decreasing the size of what you eat. And a lot of people don't understand that this surgery doesn't cure everything. This surgery is simply a reset. You have to put in all the work, and you have to make life changes for the surgery to work. And that's why a lot of people fail on this surgery. It's because they get the surgery, they lose all the weight, and then they go back to eating and their old habits, and they just go back to it. The surgery is essentially a reset because as much as people don't want to, you know, acknowledge it, obesity is an illness, it is a disease, and it is as much of a mental disease as it is as a physical disease. I need to put this down because I keep clicking it. Oh my god. So basically, once you are obese or overweight, more so obese, you never really get full and you're always constantly eating and you always get the need to eat. And it's because there's chemicals and whatnot that makes you feel that way. And it's because you rely on it so much. And part of what the surgery does is it gives you a reset. So I've lost weight in the past before. It's very hard for me to lose weight, but I've done it. I've lost 70 pounds before, but I ended up gaining it all back. And that was because I simply had no motivation, and I was still feeling the way I felt before, even though I was eating healthy and exercising. I was still feeling hungry and whatnot, so I went back to my old habits. With the surgery, I've made the changes. I do all the portions, I do everything right, and I've managed to lose about 50 pounds doing that. But this surgery is my motivation. It is what I was lacking the first time I lost weight. And not only is it my motivation, but it's going to give me a reset, which is a chance for me not to go back to those old habits. And I think that is what I need. That's what my doctors think I need. That's what my family thinks I need. And we've thought this for 5 years. So to all the people who want to discourage the surgery, you can go stick it up your ass, frankly. I'm sorry, but you can. I know what I want. I know what I need, and this is it. That's one reason why I'm getting the surgery. I got a little aggressive there, sorry. But really, I want to be here for a long time. I love my life. I love the people in my life. And I want to be here to experience this world, as shitty as it might be right now. There's a lot of good things that go on, and I want to be here for that, and I want to be around for that. When I was 340 pounds, I had prediabetes, I had hypertension. You know, my knees hurt all the time, my back was hurting, and I couldn't even go up like 3 stairs without feeling out of breath. And I didn't want to feel that way anymore. And that's the thing, if you're also losing weight, you have to want it for you. I spent years trying to lose weight to please others, to please my mom, to please my family, to please my friends, to please society, which I don't care. But if you want to make the change, you have to do it for you. And I think that's the most important step into weight loss, is realizing that this is what you want, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, because you're just going to do it for you, and you deserve this for you. So I kind of mentioned it a little bit before, but as an adolescent, I had to go through a lot of stuff to get approved for the surgery. I started all of these programs and whatnot when I was 15. When I was 15, I started going to these groups at Seattle Children's Hospital, the Adolescent Wellness Clinic. I love them so much. They've been surely one of my rocks this entire time over these 5 years. I would go down to Seattle every Tuesday, sometimes 3-4 times a week, and Seattle is about 1.5 to 2 hours away, and we would go during storms and everything, and it was a lot. We were very committed though, and we did it every single time. So I went through that program. I'm still in it. And my team has been so amazing, and I can never thank them enough for how much they've helped me through everything over the past 5 years. I had to get multiple tests done. You know, I had to get an endoscopy. I've had to do multiple blood tests over the years, and tests to fix medication around. And it's just been a lot. Like, it doesn't even feel like I've been doing this for 5 years, because it's just my life now. Like, I'm so used to it. Doctor's visits down in Seattle, it's just a part of my life, and I'm used to it, and it doesn't feel like anything to me. But for a lot of people, that is a lot. I get it. And as an adolescent, let me get to where I was going. As an adolescent, I really had to prove myself that this surgery was going to benefit me, that I was a good candidate for this, that I would follow through, and that this wouldn't get messed up, and I know this was best for me. Because once you're an adolescent, they are permanently rearranging your anatomy, and that is kind of crazy to think about, and a lot can happen in the rest of your life with that kind of thing. Like, I'm not gonna have part of my stomach anymore, and I'm gonna live the rest of my life like that. And they needed to know that since the majority of my life is going to be spent with this, I knew what I was doing, I had good support, and this would work, and that I would stick with it. So I spent essentially 5 years proving myself, and proving myself to them that I could do this. And about, I think, December, a little bit before, more like halfway through last year, I got accepted, and it was one of the best moments ever. I felt like I had finally not only proved to all of the doctors and my family and whatnot that, you know, I did this, but I proved to myself too that you worked hard enough over these years that they want to go through with this. And I know I seem emotional. I mean, I am emotional. I mean, dramatic. But you have to realize I worked for this for 5 years, and to get told, hey, yeah, let's do it, it really means a lot to me. So after that, I got accepted into the UW weight loss clinic, which is the University of Washington, and they are one of the best in the country. And I went through, I have a whole team there too. I have a nutritionist, I have a social worker, I have the surgeons and whatnot. And I had to start really cracking down, because for the surgery to even happen, I had to lose at least 20 pounds for insurance to cover the surgery. And so began like the actual hardcore calorie counting. In the adolescent wellness clinic, it was always around calorie counting. They just wanted to find ways to incorporate healthy eating, healthy habits into a normal life where you didn't have to restrict yourself. And you still don't have to restrict yourself when you're calorie counting, but it was working around that so you didn't become focused. For this, I actually had to crack down and start counting my calories, and I was going down to 1,700 calories a day, which for me at 340 pounds was what I needed to lose weight. And I steadily lost about 2 pounds over 10 weeks, and I lost to 20 pounds, and I got the letter saying, yeah, well, you're covered now. And over that time, I managed to keep losing weight, because during surgery, when you're not as big, there's less risk for complications, which is part of why they make you lose weight for surgery. And around now, I have probably lost around 50 pounds. And that's really insane to me. Yeah, and insane to others. Everyone's saying like, oh my gosh, I can tell you're losing weight. And I'm like, I still look the same. I don't know what you mean. I don't see a difference. But I'm me, and I see myself every day. So of course I'm not really gonna see a difference. Clothes do fit differently though. I'm gonna have to get an entirely new wardrobe, and I'm kind of stoked about it and also kind of not, because that means spending money, and a lot of money, because clothes are expensive. But also it means that my progress is visible, and it is a real thing, and it's not all in my head, and it's actually happening, which is so cool, by the way. Yes. So I did that for about half a year, and come now where I finally got a surgery date scheduled, which is in 3 days. 3 days. And at the beginning of this month, which is March, I had to start probably the strictest diet that I have ever been on. I don't recommend diets anyway. Maybe I can make a video talking about that sometime. But this was for the purpose to help shrink my liver and help kind of clear out systems and whatnot and get me ready for after surgery when I'm barely gonna eat at all. And it's not like a total shock to me, my mind, or my body. But I have the paper here, and as you might be able to see, every day I eat 1,000 calories, 85 grams of protein or more, 60 carbs, and 45 grams of fat or less. And let me tell you, it's been a journey. It's been an emotional journey because I realized, I already had to change my entire feelings, my entire thoughts, my entire relationship with food. But being so restricted has made me really miss food and the things that I love to eat, especially carbs. I really love carbs. 1,000 calories is not a lot, and you can eat a lot if you eat a lot of vegetables and you eat a lot of lean meat, but sometimes it feels like that's all I'm eating, and I can't wait for it to be over so I can add a little bit more variety. The hardest part for me has definitely been the carbs, because I do like rice and I do like noodles, and also apples and bananas have a shit ton of carbs in them. A lot more than I thought they did. Like, one banana has 1/3 of my entire day of carbs, and I'm like, guess I'm not eating those. It's all I can say is it's worth it. It's really, really gonna be worth it. But I just feel kind of like isolated with my food, Like, I feel like I'm eating the same things over and over again, and I don't have a lot of variety. And I don't like that, and I can't wait to be able to eat normally again. But just because I am on the diet now doesn't mean the dieting stops. And just to clarify, this is a diet. This is not where my lifestyle changes come in. I mean, there are some lifestyle changes in here, but this is a very strict diet. It is temporary. It is not forever. Same with after surgery. After surgery, for about a week, I can only drink clear liquids. And I also have to manage to drink 64 ounces of water. Just to put it in perspective, after surgery, my stomach's gonna be about that big. And I'm not gonna be able to eat much or drink much. So they give you little 1-ounce cups. They're about that big. And you have to drink 64 of those every day of water. And you have to take a sip every 15 minutes. Which is the part I'm most worried about, because that just seems like a lot of micromanaging and I forget stuff. So I'll have to have my support group really make sure that I stick with that. But it will be, for a week, it's going to be purely clear liquids, and then I'll slowly move up to pureed food, and then soft food, and then solid food. So it will be around a month before I am safely and comfortably eating solid food again. And even then, my portions are going to be really small. Like, they're saying a meal is going to be about half a cup, which is not a lot. And I will be on vitamins because of it, because I'm not going to eat a lot of food, so I have to get my vitamins from somewhere. And I'm going to be drinking a lot of protein shakes, which I already do. I like protein shakes, so it doesn't matter to me, but a lot of protein powder, a lot of protein shakes, because they want you to really focus on protein, because protein is very important. I feel like just really switching the topic from the diet, there's nothing really more to say about that. Like, I've been on a diet for a while, I've changed my eating habits, and that just goes into proving myself again. I did this, I changed everything I thought about food, and it was not easy at all. It was a very emotional process, because I used to have a food addiction, and I was very much an emotional eater, and it was my comfort, and I had to change all of that. All of that is no longer a thing, but it was really hard, and there were a lot of times when I wanted to give up, and I stuck with it. And I'm really, really proud of myself for doing that, because I've never done that in my life. And it's a really big step. So there are some things I'm not looking forward to after surgery, mainly society. Society is just pretty horrible in general. When I was obese and overweight, random strangers would feel the need to tell me that I'm killing myself. And there was even one time, everyone is surprised when I tell them this, but I'm like, this happens all the time. Somebody came up to me when I was eating food in the mall food court, and they told me, this is why you're fat, you're gonna die. And it was a complete stranger. I didn't even know them, and they just walked up to me in public when I was eating and said that. Like, oh, fat people don't need to eat? Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for telling me that. This is why I'm fat. Thank you. You know my life story. God bless. If you've never been fat, you can never know what a fat person goes through, because there is such a stigma against fat people, and the amount of people who won't even talk to someone just because they look fat is so much higher than anyone could ever imagine. There are a lot of shallow people out there, and there are a lot of mean people out there, and there are a lot of people who aren't afraid to show either parts of those and those sides of them. And that has been my entire life, has been people telling me that I'm killing myself, I'm ugly, that I don't know how to take care of myself, or that my family doesn't know how to take care of me, that my mom failed me, which is not the case. Bitch, I hate emotions. Nobody failed me. I didn't fail myself. My family didn't fail myself. My friends didn't fail myself. My doctors didn't fail me. Shit happens, and I didn't want to change. Like I said, I tried before to change for others, but I couldn't, because it's not what I wanted. I didn't care. I didn't care up until things came along that I loved and I was interested in. Not to say that a lot of my life was spent with me hating things. I love the world. I love the people in my life. I've already said that. But things like taking care of my mom and taking care of my uncle really showed me that life is a precious gift, and I want to be around for all that it has to offer for me. And that is when I realized you can't do that if you're gonna be 600 pounds in 5 years. That is why I decided to make a change. Not to say that fat people don't love themselves. I'm a fat person. I love myself so much. And you don't... People can do whatever they want. It is of no one's concern but theirs and the people who are heavily involved with their lives. And even then, there is a line you don't cross. The only person who can dictate what truly happens in your life is you. Regarding personal decisions, that is. There's a lot of systemic things that mess things up, but we're not going to go into that. And I realized that I need to make a change. I wasn't happy. I love myself, and I have never hated the way I look. Never, ever. There were times when I had some self-esteem issues, but I am a very confident person, and that did take me a while to learn how to be self-confident and have self-esteem. Don't get me wrong, it was a long road. It was many years of really battling thoughts and stuff, but it never ever pertained to what society saw me as a fat person. I never cared, and I always thought I looked fine. What got me was I didn't feel fine. I looked fine, but I don't feel fine. My knees hurt, my back hurt, my heart feels like it's racing all the time. I can't walk up 3 flights of stairs. I can't walk up a single flight of stairs without being in pain and feeling out of breath and feeling like people are staring at me and judging me, which, like, go ahead, judge, I don't fucking care. But just the feeling of being watched and judged is never fun for anybody. Even if you don't care what they think, it is never fun to be judged. So that was like my life before. Even just losing 50 pounds, even being at about 300 pounds, people treat me differently than they did when I was 340 pounds. People are showing more interest now that I look a little bit smaller, or they're like, oh, you look good, girl, or like people who never talk to me are talking to me now. And it is so painfully obvious that there is a bias against fat people. And I am not looking forward to, after I've lost all this weight and I come to fully understand how much people hate someone just because they're fat. And it's a rude awakening, and there are a lot of people who don't believe it and don't understand. They're like, no, it's just bad people. Like, yeah, a lot of bad people who hate fat people because they're fat. Like, why? I'm not the bad person. I'm pretty cool. Like, I'm nice and I'm semi-funny, so like, why hate me? You haven't even talked to me. You just say, oh, she's got back rolls, she must be a bad person. Another really baffling thing has been how many people have discouraged this surgery, even though I know for a fact this is what I want and this is what I need. The amount of people who, when I tell them, oh, I'm getting the gastric sleeve, who are like, oh, well, did you know that like 70% of people fail in the surgery and you're just gonna be fat forever and nothing's gonna change and you gain it all back and it's gonna be like a never-ending cycle of hate and hatred and just failing. Wow, thank you so much for the encouragement. Thank you so much. The world is full of hypocrites, and the amount of people who tell you to lose weight and do something about it or you're gonna die is pretty much comparable to the amount of people who have told me not to get surgery and do something about my weight. And I just don't know what people want. And could you like make up your mind? Are you gonna be supportive? Or are you gonna like just hate me? Or like, what's going on? I'm very, very, very confused. Man, people are wild. You know, it just all comes down to, I don't care what they think. I've been doing this for 5 years. I am very steadfast in my decision to have the surgery. And no matter how much people don't like it, or how much people don't approve, or how much people think it's gonna fail, I believe in myself and I believe it's a good idea. I believe I will be successful and I will make this surgery a success. And that's all that matters. That is all that matters. I'm positive. I believe in myself. I've proved to medical people, I've proved to doctors, I've proved to medical professionals, I've proved to my family, I've proved to my friends, I've proved to my teachers that I can do this. And I've proved to myself that I can do this. Prove to yourself and others that you can do something that you thought you would never, ever, ever, ever be able to do is a powerful thing, and it affects your mind and it makes you think better. And I think better. I know I can do this, and I know I can make this a success. And I know that all the people who truly matter and the people with the opinions that truly matter think the same way. And that is all that matters. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. So that's what's going on in my life. That's what's been going on in my life for the past 5 years. And I felt the need to just sit down and talk about it because there's a lot of things that have been going on in my life. I've been very stressed out. I've been tired. And I just felt like being able to talk about this, even if it's just in front of my phone and to whoever, probably like 0 people who watch to the end, just being able to talk about it and discuss my feelings and share my feelings and share what I've gone through feels good. And I don't know, it just feels right. And I don't know if anyone's still watching right now, but maybe this helps give an insight into what other people go through, or if someone is preparing for the bypass or the sleeve or whatever, you can watch this and it will help you understand a little bit more of what might be going on in their lives. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it off there. As I said, I will probably be absent from social media for a while because I'm gonna be recovering and in surgery and all that stuff. So sorry, I guess. If you guys want to, you can subscribe right there and you can watch another video right there. Also let me know if you like these like chit chat, let's talk videos, because they're kind of fun to do, and I have a lot of opinions on things, and very strong opinions, as you might have been able to tell. So I am down for another just talking video if you want it. I'll probably make one if I feel like it anyways. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later after surgery. Bye!